Is Mido, a contestant on the latest season of 90 Day Fiancé, really on the show to marry Debby? Or is it merely a strategic move to break into Hollywood? Looking back at the journey of this international couple, with a 14-year age gap from Egypt to New Orleans, more and more evidence points to the latter. Mido, a 41-year-old Egyptian, describes himself as an actor and tour guide. Debby insists he is a movie star, but a review of his resume reveals only minor roles in productions like The Choice and Cuffs Season 2. Debby hasn't even been able to find him in any films. Even more intriguing is Mido's behavior. He met Debby 6 years ago while working as a tour guide. After arriving in the US on AK-1 visa, his first move wasn't to nurture their relationship, but to complain that New Orleans was too far from Hollywood, demanding that his 55-year-old fiancée immediately move with him to chase his dreams. While in Egypt, he was also linked to a popular female celebrity, garnering brief media attention. He even publicly declared on the show that he was a 41-year-old virgin and refused premarital sex on the grounds of his Muslim faith, a move some viewers interpreted as a ploy to generate buzz and craft a persona. On one occasion, when Debby accidentally saved a video as a photo, Mido flew into a rage and threatened, "In Egypt, if that happened, I would leave her immediately." Such a lack of patience and respect makes it hard to believe that love is the driving force behind his actions. From demanding a move, managing social media, and creating conflicts to capitalizing on the virgin label, every step Mido has taken seems more like a strategy to pave his way into the American entertainment industry than a genuine effort to marry Debby. Rather than a cross-cultural romance, this appears to be a carefully packaged career-boosting spectacle.
What that?
That way you have to sleep on your side of the bed.
Yes. She surprised me when she wore that. She was not sexy at all.
Are you feeling tempted to get intimate?
No. Look, I'm virgin.
Out of respect for Mido's beliefs, Debby went out of her way to buy a red plaid nightgown that covered her entire body. Mido insisted on abstaining from sex before marriage, and even though they slept in the same bed, Debby always went along with his rules. Mido used pillows to build a wall down the middle of the bed, separating them. Debby wasn't upset. On the contrary, she thought Mido was adorable, but deep down she still felt a twinge of disappointment. Debby kept making concessions, yet Mido kept finding fault. Mido admitted that Debby's figure didn't tempt him in the slightest, and that he never had any impulsive thoughts, which left Debby feeling very awkward. Debby had originally thought that as long as they lived together, everything would get better and better. On their second day in the US, Mido took non-stop photos and posted them on social media, making Debby his personal photographer without the slightest consideration for her feelings. If he wasn't satisfied with the photos Debby took, he would simply leave her behind and go off on his own. Mido had never expressed any love for Debby, constantly talking about going to Hollywood to become a big star. Mido even suggested that Debby buy a house in Hollywood to settle down. Debby didn't know how to respond. They only had 90 days together, and whenever Debby brought up marriage, Mido would change the subject. It seemed he didn't really want to marry her. Debby's daughter suspected that Mido had come to the US solely to pursue his Hollywood daydream, not to get married.
I'm just frustrated. From what? You could survive in Egypt, but you can't be compassionate with me. Get out. You should push me too far. Finish, it's over. I'm done with the whole thing. He is going home. Mido once again played his signature trump card, threatening to pack his bags and return to Egypt, which completely wore down Debby's patience. Sitting in the cafe, Debby stared coldly at the angry young man in front of her. Every time Debby refused his demands, he threatened to go back to Egypt. Debby had already spent $100,000 to bring this Egyptian star to the United States, yet Mido kept making increasingly outrageous demands. Yesterday, Debby accidentally deleted his photos and was berated by Mido, who told her, "If you go buy a house in Hollywood right now, I'll forgive you." Mido's mind was consumed by his acting dreams. To him, Debby's refusal to grant his request was nothing less than an obstacle to achieving them. Mido even demanded that Debby become his superfan, which made her feel suffocated. She had spent so much time and money hoping for a husband, not an idol. Debby's defiance left Mido baffled. He even cited the Quran to accuse her. Mido kept emphasizing that women must absolutely obey and respect men, and he mocked Debby for having lived alone for 20 years, saying she should now learn how to submit to a man. At that moment, Debby decided she would no longer tolerate his behavior without limits, as she had before. She resolutely reached out and demanded that Mido return the engagement ring immediately, insisting he return to Egypt by tomorrow at the latest. Mido never expected Debby's stance to be so firm. Now he was homeless, and his dream of becoming a Hollywood actor was about to shatter.